Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of American Truck Simulator. We are still in Camp Verde, Arizona, and I already have a trailer hooked up. We are hauling 27,000 pounds of empty pallets to the FedEx in Sholo, Arizona, which is about 249 miles away, 6 hours and 30 minutes. Should be a relatively quick trip if we can get there without ease. The roads look a little bit twisty from the map, but it should be relatively good. So let's go ahead and start the journey and see how bad this trip is going to be. I don't think it's going to be too bad, but as we got closer to Sholo on the map, it looked like the roads got super twisty, so we'll have to deal with that as we get there, but it shouldn't be too bad. If anything, it should look really nice. Maybe it's up in the mountains. Maybe that's why it's twisty. See if we can get out of here without hitting our truck on anything. That would be nice. All right. Oh, okay. All right, there we go. We're good. So, just go from first to fifth, or did I think I skipped third altogether. Yeah, I did. Okay. Sorry. A little rusty. I always get a little rusty on the first, kind of out of the city trip, just because it's always been a couple days, or at least like a week or something. So, you know, just trying to get used to the truck again. But, saw a lot of trucks this weekend, or at least yesterday. Yesterday, me and... Oh, okay. Are you going? All right, you can go. It's fine. Please a little bit faster, you know. Jesus. So, yeah, I saw a lot of trucks yesterday because yesterday, me and Polecat went out to Stockton, California, to a pick and pull, which, I don't know, it might be named something like Pull and Pay or something wherever you're from, but it's pretty much just a junkyard that you go and you get in and you pull parts and then you pay for them, and they're super cheap. So we went to a pick and pull to get some parts for some cars that we were looking for, and on the way there was just a ton of trucks and truck traffic and truck stops and truck dealers, and you could tell we were in an area that was like specifically designed for trucks. There was one section of road that had about, I'm going to say, about 40 trucks parked on it. It was insane. It was pretty cool, though. Got to see a lot of trucks, but that made me itch. I was like, ooh, got to play American Truck Simulator. Got to go trucking. Been a while. And luckily, today is the day that I record American Truck Sim, so I was like, perfect. So, but man, that was a really tough trip. It was so hot outside. It was unbelievable. And then standing in the pick and pull yard where there's no shade anywhere except for maybe the shade from an open car hood, and then walking on the loose gravel. That's what made it the worst, was the fact that it's all loose gravel everywhere. So you're taking all these uneven footsteps. It's like you're walking through a little bit of snow and you're kind of stumbling around, but they're all rocks, and it's just, it was just dusty and hot, and oh man, it was terrible. And we were going there to get Crown Vic parts. Online, they said they had 25 Crown Vics, so we were like, holy shit, we're gonna get a lot of parts. Well, we ended up not getting that many parts. I think we have to be in this left lane, because I don't think we're going towards Tucson. Barely made it over. But yeah, so we ended up not getting as many parts as we thought. There was 25 Vics, and we were like, yeah, there's gonna be a ton of parts. Well, it's pick and pull, and things are either already gone, or they're really shitty. I was personally looking for a second grill, also a second rear piece, and some taillights. Luckily, we all found second pair of taillights. We're just trying to collect parts and stuff like that for things we might need later on. But yeah, so got a good collection of just taillights, but for the most part, any other pieces that I was looking for, I didn't find another grill or anything like that. So yeah, it is what it is. It's pick and pull, but just on the way I saw so many trucks. I was just like, oh god, I'm itching to kind of play American Truck Simulator. And it's crazy how that happens just over a week, you know. By the time a week rolls around, I'm on like, oh my god, I really want to play. So it's good. It's good because this game is consistently bringing me back to play more, which is nice because I really do enjoy playing it. And it's only going to get better. Just because by the time I was getting kind of bored with just the general maps that I was in, they released Arizona, which I think will be kind of the same, and it'll just get better and better and better as more maps are released, because as of right now they have 3, but then if they, you know, do 2 more, that'll last you forever. And then by the time you're tired with those, they'll probably do some other ones. So, man, we are really slowing down on this hill. It's gonna be a little hilly, I think. I think it's gonna be managing gears. Go to 7 high. I think it's gonna be a managing gears sort of run here, because I think we're going up into the Twisty Mountain area. What it looks like, at least. I'm also still trying to get a hold of the speed limits here in Arizona. I mean, it says, well, it just dropped to 65. It was at 75, but traffic in the right lane doesn't seem to be going over 55. So I'm not sure if there's a truck speed limit. My GPS should be set to the truck speed limit one, but 65 seems pretty quick. And it also doesn't seem like that many people are actually doing 65. Even the left lane is probably doing maybe 60, if that. So, oh god, do I have to make a left-hand turn? Oh, this ain't gonna be good. I need to get over. I need to get over. Okay, we gotta, this is, okay. Just a left-hand turn at an intersection. The middle of a highway, apparently. Are we in like a little city? Guess we are. Oh, we do need to get some diesel, though. We are gonna be pretty low. Okay, got the green. No, yellow. That was way too... What? That shit was super quick. That was the fastest light I've ever seen. Wow. Oh, God. Where am I going? Okay, well, this is going to get interesting. But yeah, so... a little bit about what's going on just with me in general. I should be picking my car up tomorrow, so by the time you guys see this first episode, I should already have my Crown Victoria back from the paint shop. I'm very excited to have it back. I've been driving the Miata for a week, which has been good. I definitely don't hate it at all. And I really do actually enjoy it. I was, at first I was like, oh god, I gotta drive the Miata for a whole week. And I was like, this is gonna be interesting. But I forget how much fun that car is. That car is so much fun. And I just, when I look at it and I see how low it is, for those of you that follow me on my Instagram know that it's pretty low. Oh my god, okay, we're gonna slow down here. Just because this road system is a little bit chaotic, and I don't want to lose my truck at all. But it's pretty low, my Miata. So when I look at it, I go, oh, that thing's gonna be a nightmare to drive. I mainly just think about driveways, in and out of driveways. I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be a pain. So I was like, I don't know if I want to, for a whole week. That's gonna be interesting. But that car is a lot of fun. It is so much fun to drive, and in reality, it's actually not the bumpiest car I've been in. I look at how low it is, and I realize it's on coilovers and everything, and I go, that's going to be a bumpy ride. It's going to be a pretty bumpy ride. And compared to a Crown Victoria, it's very bumpy, yes. But it is not as bumpy as other cars. A good example is actually my very first car, which was a 1996 Mazda MX-6, which was a pretty cool looking car. That was my very, very first car ever, technically. And the reason why I say technically is I only owned it for 2 months. Got it for $800. I think I put $500 into making it run, so I'm in it for $1,300. So yeah, I was into it for like $1,300, which was pretty decent at the time. I got it off a friend that gave me a really good price, so it was a really nice car. I really enjoyed it. It was a very nice looking car. It had a really good sound system in it. It had like subwoofers with like 2,000 watt amps. It was crazy. I think the sound system was more expensive than the car itself, really. But it had coilovers on it, and it wasn't as low as my Miata now, but it was still pretty low in the grand scheme of things. It was a low car, coilovers, but I think these coilovers that were on my first car were not adjustable dampening and all that stuff. This was quite some time ago, and maybe coilover technology has changed, but I remember with my first car you could probably feel you running over an ant. It wasn't very smooth. It was a pretty bumpy ride, and in reality it was probably not the best car to be learning how to drive in, but it lasted about 2 months, and then somebody ran into the side of it running a red light and totaled it. Well, it actually wasn't that bad of a total. It had a ding in the door, maybe needed a new door, but the steering wheel is crooked, and the insurance company just went, nope, totaled. Which is actually not the worst thing in the world, because it wasn't actually that expensive of a car to get and make operable and running, but the Blue Book value was 3 times what I had paid for it, including repairs. So I came out on top, and I was like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. And being young and having them going, oh, it's worth this much money, and you're just like, okay, like you don't care. And that's what led to me buying my first Vic. But you know, I look at the Miata and I realize, oh, it's on coilovers, and I get a little bit of flashbacks to my first car of just how absolutely bumpy it was. But this car, the coilovers in the Miata are so much more better. Like the technology or whatever, I don't know, but they're so much better. I can actually drive that car over relatively big bumps for a lowered car, and it doesn't bottom out. It doesn't, you know, I get the occasional scrapes if it's a really big bump, but for the most part, it's relatively smooth. If the road is decently smooth, then you're on a nice smooth trip. If you're going through a big pothole, obviously it's going to be quite rough, and quite rougher than a normal car. But for coilovers, it's a very, very nice ride, and for how low it is, it's also a very nice ride, because you look at it and you just go, that's just, how do you get into speed bumps? Or how do you get over speed bumps? How do you get into driveways? How do you do all this? Well, it actually does it pretty well. It's actually not that bad. I do have to go into driveways and go over speed bumps and stuff sideways, but in reality, I've actually heard that some people have said that with all cars, you should be going over speed bumps sideways, just because of it helps the suspension. Don't know if that's true or not. I mean, maybe going over sideways hurts the car more. I don't know. I don't really care, but it's the only possible way I can do it in the Miata, so I have to. Wow, we are already here. So I guess that super twisty section is the one that we just went through. Wow, that was a very quick trip. I thought that was going to take a little bit more time than it actually did. Oh, wow, okay. Well, we're going to have to figure out something to do then, because it's only been about 13 minutes, which actually, that's not that much time. But we're going to go ahead and drop the trailer. Maybe there's a... no, it doesn't look like it. I'm trying to find a... Oh, we're going to run over that curb. Yep. That was not a wide enough turn. I'm trying to find a truck repair area so I can take off the light bar that I have on the top of my truck. Like I mentioned before that I was going to take off. Oop, that is first. Well, that kind of worked, I guess. Alright, so let's go ahead and try to back this trailer in. Okay. There we go. Alright, this should be relatively easy. Doesn't seem like that bad of a drop. But yeah, so, you know, it's been a fun week with the Miata, is the only thing that I've been trying to say this whole time, practically, is that car is a lot of fun, and there's times where I will admit, I look at it and I go, I just don't want this car anymore, or I want to sell it, possibly, or something, just because it's just been uncompleted for so long. You know, it not being one color really drives me nuts, but when I drive it, every time I drive it, I get 100% reminded why it's such an awesome car to own. It's so much fun to drive. It is the driver's car. It's one of the easiest cars I've ever driven to. That thing will go in a straight line without you touching it. You know, it's just amazing. So here we are at FedEx in Sholo, Arizona, which is a pretty interesting name for a place, but we're going to go ahead and drop the trailer here. 251 miles, 5 hours, 47 minutes, 36 gallons of fuel, $4,000, and 293 XP. Still not close to 22. It's going to be a while. So I'm going to look at the map really quick. So we're in Sholo, which seems to be a relatively big, spread out area, but I'm trying to find where is the closest. There's not many. This is what I need. I need a red wrench, and there's 2 in Tucson, but there's none out here in this general area, I don't think. Flagstaff is the closest one. Possibly. Flagstaff or Tucson. Not even one in Camp Verde. I was trying to look before I left. So, I'm trying to find that so I can repair my truck, take off that light bar that I put on a while back that I'm not sure about now. But I know this was a shorter episode. I thought this was going to take longer than it did, and it ended up not taking that long, so I do apologize, but I will do another video on Thursday like I typically do. So thanks for watching. Remember to hit the like button. It really does help me out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.